Coach Rick Torbett from Better Basketball has developed an innovative offensive system, the Read and React offense. What sets this motion offense apart is its layered approach. Starting with simple concepts, it gradually builds in complexity as players gain experience. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the Read and React motion offense, exploring its 10 layers in detail, while also covering the strength and weaknesses of this motion offense. Let's get started. The Read and React offense was recently updated and now consists of 10 powerful layers. Keep in mind, coaches have the flexibility to select the layers that best suit their team's strength and style of play. The Read and React offense can be run against both man defense and zone defense out of the following 3 alignments: 5 out, 4 out, 1 in, 3 out, 2 in. This first layer is the foundation of the entire offense. When a pass is made to a perimeter player 1 pass away, the passer makes a hard basket cut after the pass and comes out at the corner on the opposite side. Now we have 2 players in the corner and an open spot at the top. Player number 3 fills the open spot at the top, followed by player number 5, who fills player 3's vacated spot. Now we are back to our basic setup with all 5 players around the perimeter. Let's go through the other possibilities. On a wing to corner pass, the passer also basket cuts all the way through the key and fills the opposite corner. Once player 2 has cut, the players next to an open spot have to fill one after another. On a corner to wing pass, the passer makes an eye cut and comes back to the former position. On a wing to top pass, the passer basket cuts and comes out in the corner on the opposite side of where the basketball has moved. Player 4 fills the open spot, so player 3 and 4 have switched positions. In most cases, a basket cut won't result in an easy layup, but it does bring movement to the game, shifts the defense, and creates new opportunities for the other perimeter players. In layer 2 of the Read and React offense, we focus on utilizing the low post to create scoring opportunities. When the ball is passed to the low post, the passer's action remains consistent with layer 1. They cut to the basket. At this point, the passer has 2 choices: executing a low Laker cut or a high Laker cut. It's essential to instruct cutters to be mindful of their positioning, ensuring they create space for the post player to operate effectively. The next layer is perfect when our teammates are heavily denied by the defenders. The ball handler dribbles towards another perimeter player. Now, the perimeter player the ball handler is dribbling at backcuts to the basket and ends up in the corner. This creates movement and could lead to other scoring opportunities. The same fill rule as before applies: fill an open spot next to you. In layer 4, we focus on the seamless reaction of the perimeter players when faced with dribble penetration. When the ball handler drives towards the basket, all players on the perimeter will circle in the direction of the penetration. On a drive to the right, all players circle to the right. On a drive to the left, all players circle to the left. This movement provides the ball handler with multiple options to keep the defense guessing. The ball handler can take it all the way to the basket, kick it out to an open teammate on the perimeter, pass back to a player filling in behind, or make a timely pass to the baseline cutter. If you choose to use a post player in a 4 out 1 in alignment, they can be stationed on the ball side or weak side of the floor. However, their reads on dribble penetration remain consistent regardless of their location. When the ball is driven above the post player, their move is to slide to the corner. On the other hand, if the basketball is driven from the baseline, the post player slides up toward the elbow. These strategic movements aim to create space for the ball handler and also position the post player for an open shot if the defender helps defensively. Let's take a closer look at the baseline drive. In order to have another great passing option, the opposite corner does not circle up like the rest of the perimeter players. We want player 4 to fill the corner, providing an excellent passing target and a potential open shot from the corner. The other perimeter players position themselves to offer additional kickout options and safety passes. In this layer, players effectively utilize the pin screen, which can be employed against both man-to-man and zone defenses. The screen is set on the teammate's defender jumping to the ball in help position. The first option is to skip pass and free up the cutter for a shot or a drive. But even if the skip pass is not possible, we have another great option and feed the pinner on high post. In layer 2, we've already covered how to utilize the post player. Here is another option regarding the post player in a 4-out alignment. The post player steps away from the basket and sets a back screen for a perimeter player. The goal is to get the cutter open for a pass and score. We also want the screener to come back to the ball and be ready to receive a pass. Layer 7 introduces a variation of the fundamental passing and cutting concept from layer 1. Here, the passer executes a full cut through the nail, but instead of filling the opposite corner, the cutter has the option to set a back screen for any teammate on the perimeter. This offers a great alternative if the cutter can't fill an open spot. The ball handler executes a power back dribble, reversing away from the goal. This action signals the initiation of a ball screen where the post player sprints towards the ball and sets a screen. Once the ball handler uses the screen and drives to the basket, everyone's circle moves in the according direction, depending on the direction the ball penetrates. Rick Torbett also provides an alternative to the basic post pass and cut in layer 2. In order to create maximum space between them and their defender, the passer relocates to another perimeter spot after the pass. This works great when the defender doubles down on the post. Another option is to X-cut by screening for the next perimeter player, followed by a cut to the basket. This layer also provides an extension to the post reaction in layer 4. Once the ball handler drives middle and the post player is on the ball side, the post player movement depends on the defender. They backdoor cut if their defender steps out with them. The final layer of the read and react offense serves as a supplement to the core layers and is more conceptual, focusing on the seamless transition from full court to half court offense. This approach prevents the defense from regrouping, maintaining pressure and keeping the offensive flow continuous. In the video linked above, you will find a detailed description of a similar approach, which fits perfectly in a 5-out motion half-court offense. Now that we've covered the read and react offense, an essential question remains. How can you effectively teach this offense to your team? In the description box below, you'll find 2 valuable links to videos where I demonstrate perfect drills for teaching the basic concepts of the read and react offense. These drills are tailored for both a 5-out setup and a 4-out 1-in setup. The cornerstone of the read and react offense lies in its emphasis on developing players with well-rounded skills. Every team member is required to excel in passing, cutting, dribbling, shooting, and screening. The read and react offense constantly keeps the defense guessing with its multiple options. By adapting to the defense's movements, the offense becomes incredibly challenging to defend against, providing a significant advantage on the court. As a coach, you have the freedom to tailor the read and react offense and choose the layers that fit to your philosophy and the players' skill levels. Add more layers once your players progress and build a perfect set of offensive options over time. Implementing the read and react offense requires a full commitment from both players and coaches. It demands extensive practice and a deep understanding of the system. The read and react offense is intricate and complex, involving constant player movement and decision making. It requires persistent drilling and player development to achieve the desired level of execution. In the read and react offense, every player is equally involved, which can lead to a redistribution of scoring opportunities. For teams heavily reliant on key players for scoring, their impact may be lessened as the offense encourages an egalitarian approach. The read and react offense is a brilliant motion offense, especially for youth teams to develop players, and is capable of outsmarting any defense. To delve even deeper into this dynamic system, head over to betterbasketball.com and discover more insights from the mastermind behind the read and react offense.